Hey, Blake. It is 2 in the morning. Hopefully this does not wake you up. I want to start with an apology. Man, reading the second part of your message, my heart sank. And I'm really sorry.
You guys, the new leaked audio of Justin and Blake just dropped, and let's just say Blake's got some serious explaining to do. But here's the twist. Some people are claiming that Justin just made things worse for himself, especially with that moment where you can hear him say, "I'm sorry I messed up. I didn't mean to make you feel that way." Now, I know what you're thinking, but trust me, after listening to the full 7 minutes, I can tell you this. It actually works in Justin's favor. A lot of people are missing the bigger picture here. If you really pay attention, you'll hear exactly how Blake flips the script, plays the victim, and tries to trap him with some serious gaslighting and manipulation. It's all right there, and once I break it down for you, it'll make so much sense. And on top of that, Justin Baldoni's mum has already come forward calling Blake a liar. But wait, there's more. Ryan Reynolds' ex-wife, Scarlett Johansson, has also been dragged into this mess. Could she be the reason why Ryan can't stand Justin Baldoni? We might just get some answers. There's a lot going on here, so grab your popcorn because we're diving deep into all of it. Let's set the stage first, though, so this all makes sense. Alright, let's start by understanding why this audio even came about in the first place. You remember that now iconic rooftop scene, right? That's where everything went off the rails. We've heard Blake talk about how she had this vision for the scene, but apparently she wasn't feeling Justin's version of it.
I for sure fell short, and you worked really hard on that, and the way you framed it, and how that made you feel. I just want to say thank you for sharing that with me. That takes a lot of trust and vulnerability.
Instead of just letting it go, she went full boss mode and sent in a rewritten version to director Justin Baldoni. Now you'd think this would just be a normal back and forth, right? Well, not exactly. When Justin turned down her suggestion, things quickly took a turn. But Blake wasn't about to let her vision get brushed aside, so she pulled in her heavy hitters, Ryan Reynolds and Taylor Swift. Yep, you heard that right. According to insiders, Blake invited Justin over, only for him to walk into what could only be described as a high-profile intervention. Taylor and Ryan allegedly started hyping up Blake's version like it was the next big cinematic masterpiece, putting Justin in an incredibly awkward position. Imagine trying to say no to a script change when Deadpool and one of the biggest artists of all time are basically backing you into a corner. Now, Justin, being the easygoing guy he is, didn't want to stir up any drama. So he later assured Blake that he appreciated her passion and told her there was no need to involve anyone else for him to get on board with her vision. But as we know, that's not exactly how things ended up. Here's where things took a messy turn. Blake wasn't just looking for a thanks for your effort moment, she wanted her work to be taken seriously. And when she felt like Justin wasn't giving her the respect she expected, she hit him with a long, emotional message. She went off about how she's been overlooked in the past, how Taylor and Ryan are her creative soulmates, the first people she shares all her ideas with, and how they've been there for her when others dismissed her contributions.
And I'm excited to go through the whole movie with you. I'm just excited to spend time with you. I'm excited to be in your sphere and your presence, and for us to share creative juices together, although that sounds terrible. I think you and I have been trying to build a relationship, which I think we've done successfully. I mean, here we are talking like this, me into my phone at 2 in the morning, but there's nothing more exciting to me like that I get to work with Blake Lively and have all of her.
Essentially, she made it clear that their support for her rewrite was a huge deal, and Justin should take that as proof that it deserved a spot in the film. What Justin didn't realize at the time was that all of this was a calculated move to guilt-trip him into accepting her version. After getting a bit of a hard time at dinner the day before, Blake knew exactly how to put the pressure on him. At this point, Justin was backed into a corner and he felt suffocated. I know this because he later sent a voice note that got leaked. And when I say this man was apologizing for existing, I'm not exaggerating. It was hard to listen to. He genuinely believed he had failed her, apologizing like 50 times, practically begging for her forgiveness. He even went as far as saying he was excited to go through the entire movie with her. Now, this audio doesn't exactly paint Justin in the best light, and it might make him look like a total people pleaser. But here's the thing people are missing. This man was fighting for his reputation. He was in full damage control mode, trying to keep the peace at all costs. All right, let's break this down. The reality is, Justin was completely cornered here, and while it doesn't paint him in the best light, it's hard to ignore the fact that Blake played him like a fiddle. Sure, it's tough to watch him almost beg for respect in his own movie, but here's the thing. This wasn't about creative control. It was about power and manipulation. Blake had all the leverage. Ryan Reynolds and Taylor Swift backing her up made it impossible for Justin to say no. It's tough to reject a script change when Hollywood's elite are telling you it's a must, right? This whole situation has split people down the middle. Some think Blake was just fighting for her vision and used the resources she had, her super famous friends. Others, though, believe she manipulated her way into getting what she wanted. Either way, it's clear from the leaked audio that Justin was left with no choice but to accept Blake's changes. When Hollywood's power circle gets involved, saying no isn't really an option. But here's where things really start to get twisted. Remember when Blake acted like she was the mastermind behind that rooftop scene? Turns out she wasn't. The real plot twist? Ryan Reynolds wrote the scene from the very beginning. Let that sink in. Blake made Justin go through all that drama, made him believe he had creative control, and even played the victim card, bringing Taylor Swift into the mix. Then, a whole year later, she reveals on the red carpet that Ryan was behind it all the entire time. That I'm being disrespected energy? It was just a performance, a manipulation tactic. And here's where it gets even more wild. It turns out that Ryan Reynolds wasn't just backing Blake on the creative side of things, he was involved in practically every aspect of this. When Justin started getting a bit too close to Blake, suddenly the crazy demands started rolling in. Blake wanted to see all the raw footage and started making wild demands, like needing an intimacy coordinator, even though she'd turned one down months earlier. It all seemed designed to disrupt production and push Justin out of the picture. This wasn't about the movie anymore. This was about making sure Justin knew his place, and at the end of the day, he was played. The film was taken out of his hands, and a narrative was crafted to make him look difficult. A calculated sabotage, if you will. But here's the real kicker. Justin Baldoni's family has entered the chat, and Blake better be ready because they're coming for her. And when Mama Bear steps in, you know things are getting serious. Sharon Baldoni, Justin's mum, didn't hold back. She didn't exactly grab a megaphone and say, "Blake, you're not on my son's level." But trust me, that's basically what she was saying in her own classy, indirect way. Justin's family is no joke, and they've got his back. Things really kicked off when Justin was enjoying some quality family time in Hawaii to celebrate his 41st birthday. Fans were loving the family vibes, and of course there were tons of heartfelt birthday tributes. But behind the scenes, Sharon was making it clear that Blake Lively wasn't going to get away with this. She's coming in hot, and it's about to get real.